Teens in particular, some surveys say that over 50% of teens have
What about having the virus? Are there symptoms if you have it? Should everybody now be tested, have saliva tested?
kind of annual physical.
But this possibility that was raised, which is truly terrifying, of course, that it could be transmitted through saliva, through using the same straw as somebody. It's likely that it's oral sex.
Absolutely. Young to prevent it with a vaccine, but my instinct says it's coming.
But as of this morning, the bottom line would be, I guess, the number of sexual partners matters, and that oral sex is not known to be risk-free anymore.
Oral sex.
And stay tuned. We'll always try to follow up on this story because it is something new and newly determined out in the medical community. We'll be right back with that story, Andrea.
Good morning, Diane. And the 15-year-old you're talking about talked about her son called home from football camp, and she thought he sounded strange, that something wasn't right, but she didn't do anything, and he in fact was being hazed. Then there's the obvious, the branding, the bruises that they may come home with, and of course as a parent, in the end, just trust your gut that something doesn't seem right and talk to your kids about it.
All right, and if anybody out there has other stories they want us to know about, go to abcnews.com and tell us your story and voice your opinion there as well. Thanks, Andrea. Coming up next, Melody Hobson answers questions in our different kind of memoir. You said you really wanted to write the way you talk to your friends, the inside stories you tell.
I wanted this to be a woman's book. This is not a...
At the end, when you realize how emotional it is to say goodbye, I've got to ask you about a few of the stories.
Oh, absolutely.
Here we are at
That's old enough, I can assure you.
Castle on a weekend to visit the Queen.
I know, honestly, and made famous by Queen Victoria, where there's still a chair. Where the
previous trip that they unpack all of everything in your suitcase, your birth control pills,
well,
or contraception.
My contraception.
So you had none.
Well, I did, but what my toiletry bag, which, you know, I don't know what your toiletry bag's like. It's a bit like my handbag. And so I was rather embarrassed. I thought, I will take a completely new bag with just anonymous thing, and the chance led to Leo.
And you said that you couldn't believe it. Had this curious relationship, as we said, with the British press, in which you have endured a lot, starting, as you said, one of the few things you would have done over and done differently is that famous scene at the doorway when you didn't realize right after you came in that the press would be waiting outside. One name, if you can give me your sort of one-word first reaction. Queen Elizabeth.
Oh. Whenever I think of Queen Elizabeth, I say, oh, please, let me, but no. She says, no, I'm going to clear the plate.
Princess Diana.
Princess Diana was a
kind of consolation in being with the two of you. Well, the time is fleeting, but there is also a lot in here about, as I said, your dream that the 21st century will be a century in which women are heard in a new way and equal in a new way. And if anybody out there wants the title again, you should know it is Speaking for Myself. It is Cherie Blair. You can read an excerpt on abcnews.com, and it's always good to see you.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. So kind of you to have me. I really appreciate it.
Really nice to have you here, and a lot of it is very funny. Let me just say one thing. Boar hunting with Vladimir Putin in high heels.
Yep.
Do you need to know anything more?